Good morning, good afternoon. If you're coming home from working a long 9 to 5, but having a good night, as it brings to you another Bodyslam post recap show for WWE Evolution 2025. I'm your host, Rami. My co-hosts today, Max and Anissa. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
I'm doing amazing, especially after a show like this.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
doing amazing, fantastic weekend of wrestling. Can't wait to talk more about Evolution.
Exciting day, especially exciting weekend of professional wrestling. We had AEW, we had WWE trying to counterproduct each other. All good wrestling from every side. NXT, WWE, AEW. The women showed out tonight. Completely amazing show from top to bottom. It was like the opener. You could automatically say, "Oh, that's a match of the night." And then as the night continued to progress, we got more and more matches just like that. I wanted to recap something that in the last time that they had an Evolution show was in 2018. The dark match to that was a 4-minute NXT Women's UK Championship defense for Rhea Ripley against Dakota Kai. This has completely changed off the radar since 2018 to 2025. The women, of course, have all been able to show their game, step up their moves. Everything has been amazing for them. And then now we had an opener of Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. What match were you looking forward to the most, Anissa, throughout this night?
The battle royal.
Yeah. What about you, Max? Were you looking forward to any match?
I thought the three-way opener, that was the match I was most excited for. Even though it was booked, I didn't really love the booking behind the match. I thought in-ring, I thought that was going to be the best on the show.
It's a match that I expected to be the main event, but when you have the world championship on the line, especially both women's world titles, you have to put one of them as the headliner. And of course, tonight was a good reason why. But we have this opener, three of the best women on the roster and on the brand in the company, my apologies. And they just went all out from start to finish. It was an amazing match. Lyra got the big pop, during the entrance. Everyone just booing. Becky, of course, big heat always on her. Big man Becky always getting the big heat. And Bayley just wanted to get revenge from WrestleMania all the way till now, having this wait and claw away, and then having Lyra get involved in this. Of course, it's gonna meddle with everybody, but that's the reason why triple threats are so amazing. And this match was 16 minutes, felt like a 30-minute classic because of just all the crazy spots that we were seeing go all over the place. What excited you the most about this match, and what were your thoughts on, and what were your reactions on the entire ordeal? Anissa,
Well,
sorry,
from
my apologies.
it's okay. For me, I think the crowd really. I want to talk about the crowd first, real quick.
Okay.
Um, they really amped up every single match tonight. The crowd was on top of their feet. They were cheering for every single match, every single woman, and I felt like the big with the threat match. It felt like the crowd really made this match more special, and I was so into it. And I like Lyra Valkyrie; she's great, but I have not seen her be this active in the ring, and her doing all these kicks and things. I was blown away. I was like, "Where's this Lyra? Where has this Lyra Valkyrie been?" You know. So for me, I was overall with the crowd. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I was just like, this is a good triple three way. And to start off, great.
How about you, Max?
Yeah, I was extremely again excited for this match. I did not think they made a whole lot of sense booking wise why Lyra and Bailey have been battling each other, not liking each other after the event. I just think it's been very lazy the way they put that together. But in ring, I thought the match very much delivered. I thought Becky was going to win because I think eventually we need a clean Becky Bailey IC title match. But I do think at this point, I thought it delivered. The crowd was, yeah, very, very into it. Again, Lyra was someone who was not as much over as she was a couple months ago. Now here she is, more over than she's ever been. The crowd was really split between Bailey and Lyra, which is a lot of fun. And I really like the uniqueness of the finish. The finish really was good with the roll up from Becky to end the match.
Which I saw Becky in the background, so when she did the spinneroo transition into the roll-up pin, I was shocked by it because you expect them usually to grab the opponent, throw him out the ring, and then go ahead and steal the pin. But this way, it was just a lot more of an exciting, shocking type of way. Um, I wanted to mention that I expected Becky to retain the championship because I feel like they're gonna move on to SummerSlam and we're gonna see what happens there. But I was very happy to see Lyra get more open shots, as like Anissa mentioned, because with her Intercontinental Championship reign a couple of months ago, it was fun, but it was also built off of resiliency and durability of her getting her ass beat by Ivy Nile, Dakota Kai, Raquel Rodriguez, Bailey, even Becky. Everyone kicked her ass, and then she always came out of the way, roll up, schoolboy, anything to be able to retain the championship. So to finally see a different side of her tonight, more rage and more anger, it was really nice to see that, to show this new side of Lyra that we get to see for going forward to the future.
Right.
Anything? Go on,
I agree. I do hope booking wise they do. I want to see what happens next with this because I don't feel like this is another triple threat match for SummerSlam. I think they have to build Becky in a one-on-one situation, probably with Bailey, because Bailey obviously got that match with the DQ. So I do think it'll be interesting I hope Lyra doesn't go from now being in this top program to not being on TV. But I do, Rami, someone is joining us right now, and that is the one and the only Corey Hayes is now with us here on the post show.
Let's go.
What's up, guys?
We got a legend in the house.
I had to compose myself before I had to come on here after what just happened. I say that. Oh my goodness. You guys talked about the first match. That match was a perfect way to start the show. Absolutely perfect. The crowd was fantastic from start to finish tonight. They kept the energy going, and I think that Atlanta was probably, honestly, it was the right choice for where they should have had the show. But that first match, if Dave Meltzer doesn't give it 5 stars, I don't know. I don't know. His view on wrestling is very flawed. But if he doesn't give it 5 stars, something's wrong with that old man.
Burn the house down.
Every match deserved 5 stars.
They killed it. And I'm glad all the women showed out tonight, especially from start to finish. I'm 100% happy with this show.
Second match of the night was for the NXT Women's Championship. Jacy Jayne going against Jordynne Grace, who had Blake Monroe in her corner. And for the teasing that we've had for the last couple of weeks, we all knew what was going to most likely happen in the end. But this match was a lot of fun. And I wanted to give a shout out to Max over there, because I believe you said it, JC deserved this opportunity, right? And it's the truth. She earned this opportunity. She worked her ass off. She's put herself through so many factions, so many feuds, so many losses, that I felt bad for her when she had an interview a couple of weeks ago or so, when she said, everyone always knows I'm going to lose. So for me to finally get that big championship win against Stephanie Vaquer, it shocked the whole entire world. And her to go into this match against Jordynne Grace, a TNA great and an absolute legend already as it is, it was a lot of fun. What was everyone's thoughts on the match? I want to start with Corey.
Solid match. Jacy Jayne has come a very long way. I've really enjoyed what she's done lately in NXT. Jordynne Grace, unfortunately, time and time again, can't get over the hump when it comes to the NXT Women's Championship. I think this was the 4th time that she's challenged for it, 3rd time since she's been signed in WWE, and she just can't get over the hump when it comes to the NXT Women's Championship. Obviously, outside factors played into it once again for her this time, with Blake Monroe getting involved, which everybody pretty much saw coming, especially after the FIFA report that came out, especially after Sean Ross Sapp reported it, that she was expected to turn heel soon and be a heel moving forward on the brand. So the match itself was very good. I enjoyed it. Jordynne and JC have great chemistry together. It's unfortunate that Jordynne Grace can't get over the hump when it comes to NXT. I'm looking forward to now that title versus title match next week at Slammiversary. Masha against Jacy Jayne. That's going to be incredible. There's a lot of moving pieces. Obviously, now in NXT, we have Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe are going to have something going on. I think that's probably going to be the last that we see of Jordan Grace in NXT after her feud with Blake Monroe. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But overall, I really enjoyed that match there.
Anessa?
I thought it was great. I don't watch NXT that often, but I mean, tonight really showed me a story of certain, as somebody who doesn't really watch NXT regularly, I saw a story in that match. And overall, I think it was a good match. I enjoyed it. The ending, I obviously we knew she was going to turn Blake Monroe, but how she turned was something I did not expect. And I actually do like the way she turned on Jordan Grace, because we already know what Blake Monroe can be as a heel, but we don't know what she can be with WWE producing her as a heel. So that's going to be very interesting.
Max?
Yeah, I as you said, I've been a JC Jane fan for a very, very long time. So when she won, I was not one of the people who hated the decision at the time. So I was very happy about this. Her getting a big match like this made a lot of sense. But I'm with Corey. It's a lot for Jordan Grace to keep being in these title shots, not getting wins after she really feels like a main roster talent, but she still can't get over the hump in the world title picture on NXT. But it seems like she might have this one big feud with Blake. Blake would go over. Maybe that sends Jordan Grace to the main roster. But I thought the match itself was very, very good. And we all knew that the ending that was coming. But I thought the quickness, too, of JC going into the finish made it all very tight towards the end of the match. So I was really happy with the decision. And I'm excited for Blake Monroe versus Jordan Grace moving forward.
I don't know if this is going to sound silly or not, but last night when Blake Monroe, yesterday, when Blake Monroe made an entrance, I didn't watch Great American Bash until later on in the night. So when I finally saw it and I hear the entrance music, I'm like, this sounds like, if it sounds like something a heel would come out to. So when she's coming out, everyone's giving a big crowd pop and everything. I'm like, I'm happy for her, but I could see right on the other side. I know that tomorrow she's gonna be evil and it's gonna be a beautiful moment. But for some reason, automatically when I heard the theme song, I was like, yep, that's what did it for me. The theme song is what's gonna make her turn heel. Like that first entrance, that first walkout, I felt like this immediately radiates heel energy, and I cannot wait to see what happens going forward with that feud with Jordan Grace. Anyone else want to add anything on or?
Nothing else on that match.
Well, I'm okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
me too.
think it was a good match overall.
So I heard something and I was so confused. But up next, the women's tag team champions were on the line in a fatal four-way tag match between the Judgment Days, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, defending the gold against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, Sol Ruka and Zarya, and the Kabuki Warriors of Asuka and Kairi Sane. I automatically from the entrances, everyone got a good pop out of it, and I was happy for that. Alexa, I think, got the biggest one because ever since she's came back, everyone's gonna soak in all that energy, all the love for her, and they're gonna show her every single bit of it. And it was a I could go on for days about how amazing this match was. The spots, I love the Jesse and James cosplay of Pokemon for the Double Trouble from Kyrie and Asuka. I don't watch Pokemon, so when I saw that, I was like, I know what that's from. You know what I mean? Because like you don't watch it, but you always see in pop culture the references and stuff to that. I want to start with Anissa. What were your thoughts on this matchup?
I loved it. I like a good fatal four-way. It kind of reminds me of a scramble match, in a sense. But I had fun. I was waiting for Charlotte and Solo Ruka to get in the ring together, but they teased us a little bit with them too. And I hope one day we get to see Solo Ruka versus Charlotte Flair. That would be my type of dream match of this generation of women's wrestling or WWE. And probably in my top 5 dream matches. But right now, I just think that overall, the Fatal Four-Way was perfect. Great storytelling with all of them. See what we can, and the fact that we saw new blood of NXT women's tag teams to now in this Fatal Four-Way, showing basically what they can do. And I don't know. I just enjoyed the match, to be quite honest. And I'm wondering what story in the future with Roxanne and Raquel are gonna be like? Are they still gonna be tag champs until Liv Morgan comes back? Are they gonna be done with the titles SummerSlam? Like, I'm just curious on how long they're gonna hold these titles for.
Corey, what were your thoughts?
Solid fatal four-way tag match. A lot of good talent that were involved in there. Sol Ruka and Charlotte, obviously the tease was there. I think we'll see that sooner than later. They kind of had on SmackDown on Friday when Sol Ruka did the Sasuke special out the ring. Charlotte Flair was just there in awe. So I think maybe eventually soon we're going to get those two potentially having a program. Alexa and Charlotte, very good tag team. They fit together well. I didn't think they would, but they did. Charlotte save happening, leading to Zarya spearing Sol Ruka, and you had the ending where Raquel gets the victory over Sol Ruka. All 8 of the women in the match did their thing. The crowd was into it the whole time. They really, really were popping for Charlotte Flair to get in that match. So there was a lot that was going on, but I enjoyed it just like I enjoyed the rest of the show.
Max, your thoughts?
I definitely enjoyed this match. Roxanne is my favorite in ring right now in WWE women's wise, so I am all for her getting in the big spots. It's been a little bit of an up and down to what she's really been doing since being called up. But again, with the audible with Liv being hurt, I think she turned out to be the perfect plan B option for Judgment Day. Again, this is a match I hated the way they really put it together from a booking perspective, where they did a qualifying match, which made sense to get Charlotte and Alexa into the match, but then Kabuki Warriors, who hadn't had a match in a while, just get thrown in, and then Sol and Zarya hadn't lost their last tag match in NXT. So I wish, again, moving forward, that's what I think is my big takeaway from the show, that the women have all this momentum. I think it's time to put a lot more effort into just much better booking for the women, at least storytelling-wise, post-Evolution, because I think this show had a lot of frustrating booking going in. The in-ring really delivered on the show, and now it's back to Triple H and the bookers to make these stories better now on TV moving forward.
They better capitalize. They absolutely better capitalize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to note was that I was very happy for Roxanne and Kairi Sane to have another exchange at each other, much more smooth than their singles match that they had about, I think it was this past Monday. A lot of people were not very big fans of it and were online, IWC, shitting all over the exchanges between them. They were saying the chemistry wasn't there, too sloppy, all sorts of things. And then we saw a much different side to them tonight. I was happy for them to get that, redo, to be able to go out there and do what they got to do. And it was a fun match, but it does make me question what happens next with Roxanne and Raquel, because like Anessa said, do you keep the titles till Liv Morgan comes back? When does Liv Morgan come back? Because every week it feels like there's like, oh, she's coming back, soon. But with the diagnosis of the surgery and how long you're supposed to be out for, who knows? It's a lot of taping. Corey, do you have any exclusive on that?
On the women's stuff, there would have been if Liv Morgan was still involved, but I don't know where they're going next when it comes to the tag titles at the moment, because I just hope they put more focus on them, because the match tonight proved that when time is put in and you have the talent, they should be able to work. So I'm hoping they put more time into the women's tag team division. They need to find tag teams that work. Because look, like I said, what's happening with Alexa and Charlotte, you wouldn't think that would be a tag team that works, but look at them right now.
Not weeks ago, I did not.
Charlotte, her complete character has changed. Her entire demeanor has changed since she's been with Alexa Bliss. So it's a lot. I really do hope that they do something with the tag team division now, and it's not just let them make it seem like they're gonna hold the tag titles until Liv comes back. Although that would make sense because the story revolving around it was going to be Roxanne being involved with Liv and Raquel as the tag champs. So it makes sense, but I just want them to continue off of the momentum of tonight.
There was a comment that we got here from the Twitch saying, Mr. Hayes, how happy are you right now? How happy are you, buddy?
That ending, we'll get to it, but I was ecstatic. Like That's we'll talk about it, but that's my hometown girl. So and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about how happy I am when we get to
Uh,
what happened in the main event.
I love it. Next match for the SmackDown WWE Women's Championship SmackDown World Title. Tiffany Stratton defending her gold against Trish Stratus. I had a little bit of like a tongue tie with that name earlier over and over again because they kept saying on commentary. I'm like, at some point, someone's gonna have to get mixed up and say the other name and the other last name. But this match has been something I feel like they've been planning ever since February. Once the two teamed up, they were like, how can we book them in a match against each other? And Evolution was the perfect place to do it at. I'm happy to see Trish back in the ring. I'm very happy to see her active in the way that she was wrestling tonight. It made me think to myself, can they just give her like 6 months? 6 months and wrestle all sorts of different talent. Just let her go out there and kick some ass. Because it was a fun match. It was really good. She came out there and she did her job. Before I give the microphone to you guys, one of my favorite spots in this match was the Hurricane Rana off the apron that Tiffany took onto the floor outside, knocked the entire air out of her. And I was thinking to myself, like, immediately I thought to myself, Trish, please, just give us 6 months to 12 months. Go in the ring, just kick everybody's ass, whether you're on SmackDown or Raw, or even NXT. Go down there, have a bunch of matches with the talent there. I think it'll be great. But Anissa, what were your thoughts on this match?
I loved it. I mean, I grew up watching Trish Stratus and seeing her do her. How do I? Because I used to, when I was like a young teenager, I would study Trish Stratus's move and how she moved and how she flipped her hair a certain way, how she did things. So I would like study her a lot in the sense of how she does her expressions in the ring, and she really gave basically how she did it back in 2006 before she retired. Exactly what we got Trish Stratus in this match, but more. I mean, we saw Trish Stratus do things we never saw her do before, and you know what? She just is probably no. She's the goat. She is why she is the greatest of all time of a certain generation because of how she elevated herself tonight, the way she moved. I think both of them really pushed each other really well in this match. I think uh, Trish Stratus really pushed Tiffany Stratton on how women used to wrestle back in the day, and uh, what Tiffany Stratton sees, it's confusing. Tiffany Stratton really pushed Trish Stratus on how this generation wrestles. So I mean, I think it was overall good. It would have been wonderful to see Trish Stratus win the women's champion and then Naomi maybe cash in. But you know what? I'm okay with how it ended, but I'm now wondering what's next for Tiffy time.
Definitely what's next. Because the next pay-per-view is coming up is SummerSlam. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
So we're definitely going to get after this retain. We're definitely going to get Jade and Tiffany.
Yeah.
But yeah, and after the Battle Royale win, it's very interesting to see how everything is going to go through. But I was very excited for this matchup, and I'm very happy that they pulled things off that I didn't expect Trish Stratus to take the bumps that she did and just go all out the way that she did. And that's not me dissing on her, but that's just me saying she's about to be 50 years old, and that's not me dissing on anybody's age. Anyone at any age can do what you got to do. But it's the fact that she did this with limited time of training. You're probably training for 2, maybe 3 months or so. You're not entering an actual live crowd atmosphere and going out there for matches. You had one match earlier this year, and then you go against Tiffany Stratton. It was a lot of fun. Corey, what were your thoughts on this match?
I definitely 100% thought it over delivered from what was going to happen when we were coming into it. So 100% shout out to Trish Stratus for her work in that match. Trish definitely did her thing more than I thought that we were going to see. That spot off the apron, Tiffany hitting was very, very bad. It was nasty. But I'm glad that the match turned out the way it was. Obviously, we knew that Tiffany Stratton was going to go over. But overall, I was satisfied with how the match went.
And fun fact about this, Evolution 2018, the last time Trish Stratus was at this event, she teamed up with Lita to go against Alicia Fox and Mickie James, with Alicia Fox having Alexa Bliss on her corner. So a lot, many years later, it's crazy to see that Trish and Lita going from teaming up against Mickie and Alicia to now Trish having this amazing match, and now me thinking to myself, I need to see another run from her. It was a good match. The next match, wow, craziness all over it. A no holds barred match with Bianca Belair as a special guest referee. We had Jade Cargill and Naomi in an all-out warfare. These two have been wanting to kill each other since Naomi tried to kill Jade Cargill like last year, and ever since Jade's return in February, we've just seen her try to murder Naomi and try to get the upper hand. She got it at WrestleMania, but the feud still didn't want to end. Naomi didn't want to stop this until she finally got the last laugh. Tonight was not the case of last laughs, unless we talk about later on tonight. But it was definitely the case of Jade Cargill, getting some revenge, Naomi getting some licks in. Max, what were your thoughts on this matchup?
I definitely enjoyed this match. I talk about this a lot. I haven't been the biggest fan of Jade's in-ring work, definitely of late. And I thought the no-holds-barred element, I thought was the really smart idea for the match. I do wish Bianca Belair, being a special guest referee, she added a little bit more to the match story-wise. She was just kind of there as the referee. I wish there was a little bit element of whose side was she on. There really wasn't much drama with what Bianca element of the match was, but I thought the actual in-ring stuff really worked, and I thought it was, from an in-ring match perspective, it's probably my favorite finish on the show. Hitting Jaded through the tables from the top rope. I thought that was really good. Obviously, we'll talk about Naomi a lot towards the end of the show, but she has really pulled, for me, Jade's best two matches in WWE. So all credit to Naomi, and I think Jade also needed a really good match for people to really feel confident about her going into such a big match at SummerSlam.
And Corey, what were your thoughts on this match?
Over delivered, just like some other ones. They I expected these two to go out there and kick ass in their in that element. 100% they did. Some crazy spots in that match. The spot into the monitor in front of the announce table.
Yeah, the low drop kick.
Yeah, the table spot where Naomi put Jade through a table on the outside. You had the table spot where Jade hit the Jaded off the top rope to Naomi for the win. So it was a very, very good match between the two of them. Bianca Belair being involved as special guest referee and seeing it down the middle was something that I expected. A lot of people wanted her to turn heel in that match and turn her back on Jade. But I expected a partial referee, so she was right down the middle, and I think she did her job. Just sitting there, she was really there just to count the 1, 2, 3, and you could tell a little bit that she was getting concerned for her friends, because you could tell they're still her friends in her mind, despite what they had going on, everything that's going on between the big three. But yeah, I enjoyed the no holds barred match.
I liked the low drop kick into the monitor. It was pretty sick. Another thing I liked is the fact that Bianca played such a Ken Shamrock role in this match. Don't get involved. Just be concerned for what's happening out there, but just let these two kill each other. And Jade getting the win in the end. I'm glad that it ends the feud this way because Jade gets the momentum. Naomi still has her briefcase, until later. It's the fact that now we get to move on from both sides and see different brand stories, especially for both women after the year that they've had trying to kill each other. Now we get to see more out of them. Up next was Anissa, is everything good? You cut out. I saw for a moment. Everything good?
Yeah, I actually kicked something and my everything turned off.
You're perfectly fine. Up next was the women's battle royal for a world championship match at Clash in Paris. All the women had entrances. It was really nice to see that. You know what I mean? All the women getting the chance to come out there and have their own entrances. We had Nikki and Chelsea, come out first. I was confused at first when the screen went to black. I was like, are we going for a commercial break? And then Natty came out. Then we had the next batch of women. Another blacked out. Then they brought in the NXT women. The pops that they all got was really, really nice to see. And this match was fun. There's a lot of moments that shocked me the most, especially Lash Legend having her big moment, especially with the legend that legend that she put out. It's like no one if someone told me earlier this week, oh yeah, I think this might happen, I'd be like, you're crazy. I like Lash, but you're crazy. You know what I mean? No one thinks that type of stuff. You need a genie to wish out some stuff and get some sources from Corey Hayes. But no. What were your thoughts on this match?
To be quite honest, I enjoyed it. I had fun. I don't know about everybody else, but on my end, I didn't get the chance to see all the entrances. It went to commercial, so wasn't sure if they showed all the entrances, but for me, I didn't get to see it. But I thought it was fun. I didn't really, but I'm glad that she was because now it should. Because I always wanted Lash Legend to be on the main roster, but for me, I don't know. I had fun. I enjoyed the battle royal. I thought Chelsea Green did fabulous. I thought the worm between Maxine Dupree and Natalia doing the worm that I thought that was fun. So we had some great moments, and then of course we had Nikki Bella on, like hello, one of the legends. Um, Winner of the match, and now she's gonna go to Clash of. She's going to go to Paris.
Mm-hmm. Corey, what were your thoughts on this match?
A lot of things that happened in this match I figured were gonna happen. You had the Kalani Jordan spot, which was nice. You had Julia getting eliminated by Zelina Vega because Zelina Vega wants that U.S. title back. You know that's something that's on her mind still. I knew they were gonna push Lash Legend to a nice position in this match because it's her hometown and she obviously deserves it too. She's an incredible talent on NXT. I think that she's more than ready to be on the main roster. Every time that she's been given a shot on the main roster shows, she has shown up and shown out. So I think it's almost a matter of time before she goes and gets her opportunity on the main roster. Stephanie Vaquer comes out with the W, gets the championship opportunity at Clash in Paris. I had put out a report on the first that she was the favorite, and that all signs pointed to her going to Clash in Paris. So I'm glad to see that happening. Now with her going to Clash in Paris, it's going to be interesting to see how everything booking wise goes since a lot had to change with the Liv Morgan injury.
Max, your thoughts on this?
I really enjoyed this match. The part I was the most excited for was getting the NXT women a chance to shine. Because again, as someone who watches NXT weekly, that is the one thing that I think keeps the show as watchable as it is on a weekly basis is the women's division. And I thought that giving Kalani, the Kofi Kingston spots in the match, I thought was a lot of fun. Giving Lola some fun spots. Jada had her moments as well. I thought they did a really good job putting over the NXT women. I wish the crowd was popped a little bit more when Julia and Stephanie had the face-off. There was obviously a lot going on, but that was a moment I really enjoyed. I thought Stephanie was the easy pick for this match. And the right person won. I thought Lash really showed out. It was easy to just have her and Nia do things during the match, but I thought they gave Lash other spots in the match outside of just picking up Nia Jax. She felt like a presence throughout the match. So really enjoyed the finish, and I'm very excited for Steph to get this big title match in Clash of Castle.
And what a presence she got, eliminating Nikki Bella, like the former longest reigning Divas champion. That shocked me the most. I immediately looked on like both ways, like I was being punked. You know what I mean? Like this actually happened, and I'm not even saying like as like a diss ever at all. It's just like I said, you tell anybody this earlier this week, they'll be like, I don't think that happens, but that's some good fantasy booking. And then when you actually see it happen, you're just like, wow. And it a little bit bums me out because I'm like, if Jakara Jackson was here, I would love to see the metaphor against Nikki and Brie. That would have been a fun match to see. But still, I feel like no matter what Lash, she showed out, she showed up. And I cannot wait to see what happens next with her because this is a big moment. You can't just go from eliminating Nikki Bella to whatever else they're gonna make her do next. So I can't wait to see what her next storyline is. And Stephanie winning the Battle Royale, getting a shot at the World Championship at Clash in Paris, whether she goes against Tiffany or she goes against the new champion that we crowned tonight, which we will get into the main event right now. For the Women's World Championship, Io Sky, who's always had Rhea Ripley's number, defends the championship. Evolution, once again, these two going at it. Like I said, last time that Rhea Ripley was at Evolution, she had a 4-minute Women's United Kingdom Championship match against Dakota Kai in the dark match. And for Io Sky, she was in the Mae Young Classic finale against Toni Storm. So it's a very, very big, jump through of what we saw. Like we already knew what Io was capable of doing. Rhea was dominating the scene as the Women's UK champion, and going forward before Toni took it off of her, and then they all went on their own different types of journeys. But now in a situation where every single time they've gone against each other, Io has always had the upper hand. I thought that this was the moment before the referee bump where Rhea was going to get the championship win, and that this was going to be her moment. And this match, as Corey says, over-delivered. I thought it was just as great, maybe even better than all the other singles matches that they had. These two always have chemistry with each other. These two always go all out, and I was very happy to see the match result that we all saw. And let's give it to Corey, since he was bouncing all over the walls when this match ended.
Yeah, the singles match with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley was another one for the ages. I think this was probably their best one to date. So many crazy things that happened in this match. The spots, good Lord, did Io Sky take a lot of bumps in this match? Oh, she took a lot of spots, and her back is probably going to be hurting tomorrow. But the end results of this match. Before I get to that, let's talk about Jessica Carr taking a bump. Io Sky giving her a drop kick out of the sky, and Jessica Carr taking a bump. Shout out to Jessica Carr, one of the best in the business there. But the end results, Rhea and Io go fight in the crowd for a little bit, come back in the ring. You think Rhea is gonna hit the riptide off the top rope again? Io counters into a Spanish fly. They're both down, and the last warning hits. You hear the music. You see her run out with the referee, and it comes out and cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase, uses the briefcase on Io, throws Rhea into the post, and then goes and gets the pin 1, 2, 3 on Io, new Women's World Champion Naomi. I had heard on January 1st that 2025 was going to be a major year for her. And look at it. Look at what she's done. She's turned heel, character change. She won Money in the Bank, and now she's the Women's World Champion. I'm so happy for her. I'm so proud of her. Everything that she's been through, all the hard work that she has done herself, leaving the company 3 years ago to go find herself and know her worth, coming back in 2024 in the Royal Rumble. From then until now, everything that she's done, I am so happy for her. Being somebody that's from the same city that I am 100% so proud of her and the way that she represents the city and the people of our city. She's the epitome of somebody that you would want from your city. And like I said, I'm so proud of her, and I'm excited to see what's next, what they got for her with this story that's going to come up. And I'm looking forward to now what's going to happen, because they're having the post-show press conference right now, and she's talking. So I'll watch it after the show, after we get done. But I'm looking forward to what she's got going on next. Crazy surprise that they pulled out of the hat there. A lot of plans changed with the Liv Morgan injury. I'm not sure if this was one of them, but what a hell of a surprise they pulled out to end an incredible PLE, probably the best PLE of the entire year for WWE.
And earlier this year, like when she did turn heel, I was shocked by it because I love the Jade Cargill return at Elimination Chamber. I love the way that she just murdered Naomi, and everyone was like, we had a sense of it. And then WrestleMania comes, she debuts the new gear, the new music, the new side of her that I've been hoping that we got to see years ago. I mean, but when she turned on Paige like over I think a decade ago, like it was like, oh, what's gonna happen next? And she showed a good evil side to her. We got Team Bad, we got some good matches out of her. But I feel like this side is peak Naomi. This is the side of Naomi that we've always wanted to see from her, and everything's paid off from putting over the very best of the best, putting over people who WWE sees as the next pillars, the next franchise people for the company. Like example, Jade Cargill, to put her over at WrestleMania and to put her over tonight, and then to cash in the Money in the Bank, and then now you're on Raw. Now she's on Raw, right? I assume so. She's now a Raw superstar. She's the Raw Women's Champion. Much different side. Now Jade has to deal with Tiffany at SummerSlam, but Naomi is a champion now. So she's like, who fucking cares if I lost tonight to Jade Cargill? That's good. You're not world champion yet. I'm the world champion right now on my side of the brand, which I don't have to deal with you at all. That's what Naomi's most likely thinking. Max, what were your thoughts on this ending, and how were you feeling when the music hit and you knew what was gonna come next?
I was really, really happy for really everyone involved. You knew Io and Rhea would absolutely deliver. I did get, again, very nervous when they did the ref bump, because I was like, because I wasn't thinking going in. I don't think a lot of us thought Naomi being in part of this match. We really just assumed Jade at SummerSlam. Everyone just assumed that was what's going to happen. So when the ref bump happened, I was like, does this match really need a ref bump? Then we had the Io spot, which was crazy, and the spot where the ref comes back in after Io hits the moonsault. That bought me a ticket. I really thought Io had the match done right there. But yeah, when Naomi's music hit, I said, this is a really bold, unique thing that WWE really normally doesn't do. And again, predictable in wrestling is also really good, but the unpredictable can be quite fun. And I thought this was so unpredictable, and it throws a wrench into really everyone's plans for the next month, which I find really fresh for WWE. They've been very middling for me the last couple months. This gives a really good edge now to the women's division. And again, I've appreciated Naomi's entire run. I loved her really in TNA. That really opened my eyes a lot more to the work she could do if she ever came back to WWE. And I think she's really, again, no one deserves more than Naomi at this point.
I agree. I think we all agree. Anissa, your thoughts?
I thought the match was beautiful between Rhea and Io Sky. Real quick, I want to mention I was watching like the pre-show, and they really did a video package between the referees, and I really want to mention that here, that if you guys didn't get to see it, thought it was great to put a spotlight on the referees, and to show them where they come from too, because I know Jessica Cara was training to become not a wrestler, but I mean obviously just training in the ring, and the fact that she took that spot, I thought it was perfect, beyond beautiful. Naomi coming in, I freaked out, I cheered, I cried, I got emotional, happy for her, well deserved. She deserves to be, the fact that she cashed in tonight, I was in shock. I was like, maybe, but when it happened, I'm like, she has to win it. She has to win it, and she won it, and it was just beautiful. But it now shows a story with Rhea Ripley, and I'm wondering with Rhea Ripley, where is this going to go? Because Rhea Ripley technically didn't defeat Io Sky because Naomi cashed in, but I'm just wondering what's going on with Rhea Ripley's mind, knowing that every time she's in a championship match, she does not win it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because you got to remember they got a show in Australia in October, and where is she going to be by the time they go to October in 3 months, or Australia in 3 months for said show? It's going to be interesting. She still was unable to defeat Io Sky in a match. That was something that they kept hammering the entire night, the pre-show and during the show. Rhea Ripley cannot beat Io Sky in a one-on-one match. She still did not defeat Io Sky in a one-on-one match tonight. Ultimately, it ended in a cash-in and turned into a triple threat match. But like you said about the pre-show, the countdown to Evolution, spotlighting the women's referees, I thought that was a fantastic touch. Getting to see where they came from, what they've been through to get to where they are right now. Now we have 3 women's referees under contract with WWE, 2 on the main roster and 1 on NXT. So it's fantastic to see more and more the women coming in, not only as professional wrestlers, but taking over other parts of the industry as well. You heard Big E on the Countdown show bring up so many women in different positions in the company, backstage, production-wise, writers, seamstress, makeup and hair, everything. So many women involved in this process, and they got their dues tonight. They got their dues truly. And I am so happy for all of the women, not just the ones that competed tonight, but every single woman who has ever stepped in a professional wrestling ring, every single woman that has been a fan of professional wrestling throughout the years, every single woman involved in the business. Tonight was for all of you. Tonight is for the little girls that have the dream that one day they want to be able to step in that ring. Tonight was incredible, start to finish, from the Countdown show all the way to the end of the main event. So it was something that I think they need to do every single year at this point, because while it is a special show, it means something. It means something. 7 matches tonight on the card when we normally get 5 for WWE PLE. Very special. You got so many women featured on this card that normally wouldn't get featured. So it meant something to a lot of people. So I'm very happy with how tonight played out.
It's been long overdue. You know what I mean?
And I want to piggyback
We've
with
been
what
waiting.
Corey said real quick.
Oh, my
Oh,
apologies.
sorry.
Go
I
on.
just want to piggyback what Corey said about the women and whoever stepped foot in the ring. I also want to pay homage to the women who are no longer here. That did pave the way. I mean, I was doing my research, and 90 years of women's wrestling. It started in 1935 as the first woman to become a professional wrestler, and 90 years later, here we are, where women are not just in WWE, but there's more wrestling out there. There's different styles of wrestling that women can do. And for me, I unfortunately my dream was to become a wrestler, but I have a medical condition where I cannot become a wrestler. So, there's things like that where us women who like wrestling, we just love it because it's something that we wish we can do or potentially can be part of the business no matter what. If so overall, this generation of women's wrestling, yeah, it is tough sometimes, because people think, or people do say, women are still working hard till this day, but at the end of the day, look how far women's wrestling has come within the last, 10 years. So, I mean, overall, a shout out to every single woman that's ever stepped in foot in the ring, every single person that drawn to wrestling. So, every single woman that is involved in wrestling or loves wrestling tonight and this weekend, actually, let's just be honest, this whole weekend is women killed it. Women were just phenomenal this weekend.
Across the fucking board, absolutely.
That's what I was gonna say too. I thought if you look at the weekend again, Athena and Rosa had a match that I thought really did set the tone on Friday, and then I thought the Casino Gauntlet did a good job showcasing all of the AEW women, and then Mercedes and Tony. I thought the whole weekend, the 2 major companies did a really good job showcasing really all the women they have, and I thought that was a very nice
independent wrestling. There was a lot of women's wrestling happening in the indies this past weekend, so shout out to them too. Because sorry to cut you off, Max.
No, you're good.
But no, I agree with all 3 of you. I love women's wrestling. Growing up, everybody automatically assumes, like, with a lot of people, like, oh, what you like is what you like, what your style is what your style. What always bothered me so much of growing up was I always had to watch, and we all had to watch 2-3 minute women's matches, and then people always bringing in the opinion of, oh, but maybe if they were better, they'd have more minutes. But you can't give people 3 minutes and then say, oh, they need to be better in those 3 minutes to get 6 minutes, 9 minutes, 12 minutes. You got to give them the opportunity to shine. We've never had an all women's pay-per-view in WWE except for 2018 and now this year. And the fact that they killed it this year, and I agree with what Corey said. This really needs to happen every single year. I don't care what anybody says. Every year we need to have the WWE Evolution because it just gives everyone a shot to showcase what they got to do. And it doesn't have to be because you want to counter product another promotion. It doesn't be because you want to say, oh, we got you guys, or people tune in more for these matches than the other matches. No, this should be about us promoting women's wrestling and the fantastic ladies who all come out and put on a show from the indies to Japan to overseas to WWE to AEW, anywhere you're wrestling, TNA as well. My apologies. Anywhere that you're wrestling in, it doesn't matter. You should be showcased. You should be brought up to light, and people should be watching and tuning in, and not having an opinion where they're like, but there's be no buts. Watch the action and watch how they kill it. Because tonight just showed even more reasons why this should be a yearly thing, and the reason why these women are at the top of the card. We talk about NXT and we talk about how the women are running NXT. The women are the reason why NXT is so explosive and so amazing. And that's not a diss towards the men, but it's just saying that the women are killing it. Whether it's TNA coming over, NXT going over to there, whichever way, they're doing a fantastic job. Same with AEW and same with the women's roster on SmackDown and Raw. I think that this weekend was a proud proving point of what people needed to have. And I truly hope that I get to do this again next year of covering more of the action, being able to say that this match killed it, and all the ladies just proving the point of we're just as good as the men, maybe even better than the men. And that's what it's always beautiful. They say competition is key. And I think this competition right here is the perfect type of chemistry that we all need to be able to enjoy. We enjoy the men's side, but the women's side exploding more is just always a beautiful thing to see. Is there any final thoughts that anybody has here for this card?
And I'll just add to what Corey and I said earlier.
Yeah, we saw some lead.
Oh. Sorry, you go, Nessa. There you go.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Max. Go ahead.
I'll just say, I just wanted to add to what Corey and I said earlier. I think you said it about the amazing weekend stuff. Again, this is another thing that the people have to be on the booking, and we'll see tomorrow night on Raw. They have to capitalize and book women's stories better. The reason why this show over-delivered was the storytelling was really bad going into this show. There were not many stories themselves that really grabbed you. The in-ring, you knew the talent were going to over-deliver. They over-delivered. It's about telling now better stories. Having a women's tag titles means something. Give women's tag division some, more time on TV. You got to start building these stories. So hopefully, with how much the show really opened, I think hopefully their eyes backstage, because these women deserve just as big, just as grand stories as I think the men. So hopefully this is the wake-up call moving forward for WWE. They have to, and the fans have to be on them. They got to deliver moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Anissa?
Oh, I was going to mention how that we got to see the legends that also paved the way and that were in the audience. We got women from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, like 2010s. Like we got to see a lot of women that paved the way that were in the audience from different generations and different time. And one particular person who I really loved that they brought was Melina. Getting the chance to see Melina, I mean, my gosh, it was just wonderful. And then we saw Maurice, and then the fact that we saw the other women and seeing that their children were in the ring to see them, and it's just such beautiful to see that women all across the board were spotlighted tonight.
I agree. Thank you guys so much for joining in on this. This was a lot of fun to talk about. I've been looking forward to this all week because this weekend of wrestling was always fun to look forward to. All In was an amazing time yesterday, and I was glad that I didn't have to do a post show because the 6 hours of wrestling was holy moly. So you always need a break. Sorry, Max, but we all needed a nap or a break after it just to take some sleep off. But it was so much fun to watch wrestling, to see all the action this weekend. And whether it's counterproducting or whatever they want to fucking call it, I think that wrestling being what it is awesome. If everyone can put their all into their matches, then it's always going to turn out to be one of the best shows possible, just like tonight was. And to everyone who tuned in, all 1,000. We have 1,000 viewers right now watching. So to all 1,000 viewers who tuned in, thank you so much to everybody. This
Thank you,
was
guys.
another Bodyslam.net post recap show of WWE Evolution 2025. My name is Rami. I was your host. Anybody wants to promote their socials? Corey, Max, Anissa?
My socials are on the screen. You can go and follow me on social media, except for TikTok. There's no underscore on TikTok.
Same.
Anissa?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter, same the name, Instagram, same thing, TikTok, the same thing. So follow me there.
Max?
Same for me. My bottom's for my Twitter. My name, how it's spelled out in the big font. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok. And then also stay tuned. Tomorrow I'll have for Bodyslam's official TikTok and Instagram and YouTube the raw highs and lows. I do highs and lows for all the main shows every single day for TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. So definitely stay connected to that. So you're connected to all the shows.
And you can follow me at Who Else But Rami on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Don't add me on Facebook. I will block you and report you to the police. And I hope that everybody is having themselves a great weekend, a good morning, a good afternoon, and a great night as we bring to you another Bodyslam.net recap show of WWE Evolution. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. I'm Rami. That was Corey, Anissa, and Max. Thank you guys so much. See you guys next time.
Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! No.